Can you just like further clarify what ascension symptoms are? I've never heard
Yeah.
of that term.
Yeah, so ascension symptoms are unexplainable symptoms. The symptoms themselves aren't like, whoa, what is happening? It's just headache. Sometimes you might feel sick or get a fever, something like that. For myself personally, I've gone through more spiritual awakenings than I can remember. I've done over 300 past life regressions, so it's been a lot of energetic upgrades. And as you upgrade your frequency, the body physically upgrades too. Your metabolism changes, all of that. So, as your nervous system and your body systems change, you might notice some symptoms that you're like, wait a second, I'm suddenly super tired, or I'm suddenly super energized, or something's happening that I'm struggling to make sense of right now. So when we can't make sense of something, we call it an ascension symptom. What that does is in the spiritual world, it's like, okay, categorizing it as an ascension symptom, we know it's part of this phase of evolution. We know it's going to pass. And it's not like, oh no, I have a headache. I'm experiencing chronic migraines. I need to go to a migraine 6-month immersion, inpatient treatment, or something like that. And if that is the case, of course, like feel the freedom to go do whatever medical things that you need to do. But often with ascension symptoms, they'll be like really, really intense and then they'll be gone in an instant.
Just over the last couple of months going through this spiritual up-leveling of my vision has totally changed. And my mom is stressed about it. So I'm going to go see an eye doctor to appease her, but all sorts of different things like seeing static, seeing creatures that are not there, seeing the table breathing, seeing stripes for no reason, all these things. It's getting to be kind of a joke in my house. Like, what is Myra seeing today? So I'm just curious to see if you've ever heard of that.
Yeah, so as we ascend, as we spiritually awaken and our soul becomes more and more at home within our body and within this earth, our psychic gifts turn on. Psychic gifts are not like, ooh, one person is like the most powerful person on earth and has all these gifts that other people don't have. Every single human has psychic gifts. They're within our DNA, our environment, the toxins in our environment, and the low frequency emotions that we have and all of that. It keeps our frequency low. It keeps the psychic gifts off. I talk a lot about this in my live stream and where my psychic gifts were suppressed and then turned back on. So psychic gifts, for the people that are like, this is getting too spiritual. Every single person has a gland within their brain, the pineal gland. This gland is known as the seat of the soul across all ancient history. I have a course on this called the Third Eye Activation Course, if you want to learn more about your brain and everything. So as we go through healing, what you're doing is you're creating neuroplasticity. You're literally changing the structure and function of your brain. This allows you to access your brain as it was divinely designed. So that's why healing delivers much higher levels of pleasure and joy and happiness and clarity and creativity and inspiration and all of this stuff. But with that means that your brain is kind of like on supersonic mode. All of these practices, the mindset practices, are so useful and necessary because as your brain, like I went through a recent up level where my thoughts increased by 2x or maybe even like 10x. So all of the mindset practices that I had been using, I have to use them way harder during that little period in order to help my brain be grounded and centered in myself. The body's going to change. The brain is going to change. The way we see the world is going to change. Like physically, you might see stuff. And that's why these environments are so valuable, because sometimes people go to an eye doctor and they're like, I'm seeing tables breathe. And they go, okay, you need to be in a mental ward or something. And the truth is that your pineal gland is actually just activating. You're experiencing neuroplasticity in a way that your brain has never experienced before. And it's really new. Over that first year, the psychic gifts, the new brain patterns, like they figure themselves out naturally. All you have to do is continue to show up for yourself, continue to stay rooted in your soul, who you are, your light, your love, the vision that you have for your life and for the world, and you are perfectly set up to win.